I'm Joe Costello, and I'm here representing, I'm chairman of a company called Acromove. I'll describe what Acromove is a little bit later. But as described, my topic is really about what is holding back this marketplace. And so I want to spend most of my time talking about that and then give you some thoughts about that and also some solutions, potential solutions for it. So first of all, we're all here because we believe that the edge is a great marketplace and there's tremendous opportunity. And you know, I listened to various different panel members, and I've been reading the press for a long time. The first time I heard about the edge, by the way, this is a way of background, so you know a little bit who I am. So I'm a Silicon Valley guy. I was the original CEO of a company. I built a company called Cadence Design Systems. So those of you who are in integrated circuit design, I built it to be $1 billion company doing software for chip design. So we became the leader in that particular business. And since then, I've done other things, and now I would be described probably as a super angel. I invest personally and work with a handful of companies, and I actually have 2 European companies. Acromove is one of those. It's a Greek, originally started in Greece. So we'll get back to that story later. So I've looked at a lot of different emerging technologies as a super angel. So I first heard about edge in probably 2015. The first time I heard about it. People were talking about the excitement about edge and what was going to happen. Of a donkey, and then I go, well, that's as far as I can go. But I need a mouse. I can't do any more than that. You get a donkey, right? That's what you get. And that's pretty much where we are today. We got donkeys, right? We shrunk our elephants down. We got donkeys. We don't have a mouse. The world needs a mouse when we're talking about edge computing. It needs a cloud-based solution that scales to that level. And you don't get it by building gigantic things that work perfectly at 100,000 computers and then say, I'm going to make it work for 10 in a tower. It's not how it works. You've got to build something purpose-built for that. And that has not happened yet. No one has taken that bottoms-up view. Until I met these guys, Acromove. You can stand up. This is the inventor of this. This is Evan. Evan in Greece he actually did it. He built a purpose-built from ground up. He didn't shrink a data center. He said, what if you actually built an entire cloud data center bottoms up? Edge cloud data center bottoms up. I know it's going to be small, fundamentally. I'm building a mouse, not an elephant. What do I do if I want to build a 100% self-contained data center, right? 100% self-contained. Plug in the power, pull out a Ethernet cord, and I've got a full data center that I can remotely touch and deal with just like Amazon. That's what it looks like. When you build it purpose-built, that is a 100% complete in itself. You can take it on an airplane with you. Data center right there. And it's all the hardware that you need, everything. It's got switches, it's got power supplies, backup. It's got independent networking and things, so when it goes down, when the network goes down, you can still talk to it, control it. It's got DSIM capability. It's got everything you'd want in a complete data center in this one box. But not just the hardware. It's also got a complete software stack, too. You can have it however you want, just like Amazon. You can have bare metal. You can have a VM. You can have Kubernetes, just like Amazon. And just like Amazon, or Google, or Azure, pick your poison, right, any of them, I can access that thing remotely, right? I can decide I want to log into this and take some number of CPUs in this whole thing and rent them. It's not a purchase model. I rent whatever I need, just like the cloud. That's what people want. I want to rent it just like the cloud. So it's a form factor that fits because it was purpose-built bottoms up, not shrunking elephants. It was a mouse that was built this way. And you can scale it, by the way. You can stack these things. If one's not enough, you can stack them vertically, you can stack them horizontally, you can have dozens of these things stacked and tied together. So if you want a bigger version of this, you can get it by putting a lot of these things together, so it's scalable that way, and completely remotely rentable and accessible, just like the cloud, but in a form factor and a price point and a performance point that's made for edge computing. Completely different world. Doing things this way. That is the kind of thing that is needed if we're going to break open this edge world. You need a cloud solution that is scaled in size, in performance, in cost, and in business model that actually fits the edge use case model. That's exactly what Acromove did. I think this is the kind of thing that is required if we're going to break open this marketplace. We have to have purpose-built technology that was built specifically to solve the problems that people are facing in the edge marketplace if we're going to make it happen. Think about it for a second, how the difference it is. Today, if you're a tower guy, whether you're a tower guy or you're a carrier thinking about it, and I have to think, what's your option? Right now I have to put in an outpost or a Vapor IO and put a bunch of compute equipment in it, maybe at the beginning with not very much, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, just to put in the infrastructure, months and months of time, or one of these. One of these guys, self-sustained. This one of these, plug it in, network connection, done. That's all you got to do. It takes minutes, not months, and you can have it how you want. You could buy it, CapEx, if you want to do it yourself and do your own business, or you can rent it, from us. We'll put it in there, and you can rent it from us that way. You have it your way. That completely changes the game. Hundreds of thousands of dollars goes to zero in CapEx, or a small number. Months go to days, and you're up and running. And you can imagine putting lots of these around. If someone wants an area in a city, boom, put a bunch, throw these in like candy into a bunch of different towers or cell locations around a place. Same thing if it's a retail situation or an industrial situation. You can put these in. This is the kind of thinking that, Evan, and by the way, Evan was way ahead of his time. He built the first one of these in 2016, way ahead of when the market was ready for it. But I do believe the market is ready now. Thank you.
Joe? Does anyone have a question for Joe about this novel box that we've seen? Hold on a second, just a second, Peter. I want to give anyone else a chance.
Yeah, mine was just that looks like it walked straight off the Cyberdeck subreddit to me, right? It's got
little green screen on it.
Yeah, it's good. It's got the Pelican case. It's got the interfaces. It's missing the software-definable radio to pick up satellites, and but it looks like a Cyberdeck on wheels.
Yeah. It has that look. And by the way, one of the things, I saw in the Amazon presentation, one of the things that people say, which I think is the wrong mental set. They talk about, the snow, I think snowball and snow cone are in the rugged category, like whatever, rugged usually means overly expensive and pain in the ass, right? For bad environments, right? Things can be rugged and commercial, right? And this is exactly what Evan did. Evan took all of the technologies and tricks and tips from those worlds and found a way to make that a commercially viable thing in a form factor, in a way from a price point, performance point that works for a normal marketplace as opposed to putting it down a mine shaft or something like that.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Joe.